Hey there, happy day 13 of our Get Up and Go Challenge 5, our free 30-day challenge to guarantee you a better results after you've experienced a challenge or change than before by going through and learning the SOAP framework. Today we're talking about, and we're going through all of the letters and aspects and steps of the framework one day at a time, and today we're on A. F for financial, because I'm using a financial example as I go through this particular run through the SOAP framework. The first time we're going through, we're looking at finances. And I'm sharing an example. You can be going through any area of your aspect of your life, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, or contribution. But I've been asked to start with something besides physical, because I usually start with physical. So finances got the most votes, so I'm starting with financial example. And yesterday we brainstormed. The O in our framework is options, possibilities, ideas, choices, things that we could do, alternatives. And so we brainstormed a list of at least 10 of those, shared 3 in the comments below, and I did that. And I say keep it simple when you're coming up with ideas and alternatives, but don't judge them, just throw them out there. Come up with as many as you can. Normally I expect people to come up with at least 100 possible solutions when we're working on a challenge, but 10, anything more than 3 we want to have for sure. So today we're going to talk about the A in our SOAP framework. A, green for go. Yes, absolutely. What does A stand for? A stands for action. Guess what? Nothing happens in our lives unless we do something, unless we move, unless we take some kind of action. Until we take a step toward what it is that we want, nothing happens, right? We can think about it, we can dream, we can hope, we can pray, we can believe, we can meditate, we can do all kinds of things, but until we actually do something with what comes up when we meditate or hope or pray, nothing is going to happen. Nothing's going to change. If we sit on the couch and just hope and pray and wish and visualize something to happen, chances are we're just going to get a sore derriere. So action. How do we take action? Action is all about deciding among your list of alternatives and possibilities and options what you're going to do, what you're going to do next. Not what you're going to do 10 steps down the road, but what is the next thing that you can and should do. And I like to use a little framework, and our tool today is kind of a framework, and you can either make a grid and do this, or you can rate things 1 through 10, or plus or minus, or check boxes, whatever works for you. But I look at each of the alternatives and I say, do this for at least the 3 that you shared yesterday, and even if they're ridiculous, it will still work. Actually, the more ridiculous they are, the more fun it is to actually go through this, analyze, and ask yourself these questions. Number 1, how important is this particular solution? How urgent, number 2, is this particular situation or solution or idea that you've come up with? Number 3, what resources are going to be required to make and take a step in this direction and make this thing happen? And number 4, how much energy, effort, work, etc. is going to be required for that? How easy is it going to be to do? So, for example, I am thinking about, and let's go through one of the things that I put on my list. One of the things I put on my list was to do a paid challenge mastermind. Well, how important is it that I do a paid challenge mastermind? Well, for the people that are involved in the mastermind, pretty important. Is it a quick, and then how urgent is it that I do that? Is it urgent that I do it right away? Well, not necessarily, but it's urgent in that, and it's important in that I want to raise that money as quickly as possible so I can put together a great summit for 2021. So how important is this option? How urgent is this option? How many resources is it gonna take to pull off a challenge mastermind? Well, I already have all the resources that I need to do a challenge mastermind. It can be as simple as a weekly phone call. I already have the knowledge, the information, and the experience to do a mastermind, and just one specific to challenges. Geez, I've been doing challenges for decades. Not going to be a problem. So resources I already have. Ease to put it together, again, super duper easy. It can be as simple as letting people know, inviting people through a text message or an email, or putting up a very quick 1-page, or either on social media or a little quick funnel or something. It's all different ways we could get the word out. Get the word out super easy, super quick. You could actually start doing a challenge mastermind as soon as next week, right? Easy. All it is schedule a weekly phone call with the mastermind group, right? I've got ways to take funds. Everything I need is already in place. So to pull off and do a mastermind would be pretty easy. So my action item today, I'm just gonna share. Our action item today is to analyze at least 3 of our options. It can be the 3 you shared yesterday or 3 others off of your list. It doesn't matter because you're not going to share that. Just do it and ask yourself important, urgent, resources required, and easy to do. How much effort, work, etc. is going to be. Sometimes we get all these ideas on our brainstorm list, but we can't make some of them happen unless a whole bunch of other things happen first. We don't want to get into that trap. We want to do what we can with what we've got right now and take action quickly. The sooner the better. The sooner we take a step toward what we want, the better, right? So here's an option that I know I can do right away. So what can I do right now? What action can I commit to right now to do to make that a reality? I can put feelers out. I can put out an email, some text messages, some posts to see if people would be interested in a challenge mastermind. I can do that today. I can do that right as soon as I'm done creating and posting videos for my daily content. So that's an example of a way to impact my finances that I can take an action, an immediate step in action for. Why? Because we need to take an action and find out if it's going to move us toward what we want or away from what we want. And we'll talk about that tomorrow as we get to the P of our SOAP framework. So any questions about this? Our tool today is urgent, important, resources, and ease of doing, effort, work required. You know, if it's going to take me $100 because I don't know how to do a mastermind and I had to go study and figure that out, that would be not easy to do, so it would lose points on that. And as you do, you can either, like I say, rate them on 1 to 10 for hardest versus easiest, or rate them on least to most important, or you can just put a plus or minus. Sometimes I find, and mostly I find when I've got a big list, I just run through and I'll make a grid, I'll make an actual chart for myself, I, U, R, E, and then I just give it a plus or minus, and it's pretty apparent which is the next quickest, easiest, fastest thing for me to do and implement. And again, we're not implementing the whole thing. I'm not having to start the whole mastermind overnight. I'm just going to take the first step, which is put feelers out and see if there's interest. If I find that there's no interest, nobody cares, nobody wants it, nobody's going to do it, am I going to take the next step, invest any of my time and energy in actually creating and doing that and delivering it? No, I'm not. So it's always the first, my first step in most anything is, do I have an audience for it? Is this something they want and are asking for? And then I'm going to ask people, is this something you want? Because I might assume it's something they need or want, and I can be 100% wrong. So A, action. A is all about the action. It's all about moving. It's all about taking that next step. So analyze your alternatives, pick one alternative, share for your action item in the comments in the homework section on the group page what you're going to do. What is the one thing you're going to do? And again, I didn't say I was going to do the mastermind. I said I was going to put feelers out to find out and gauge the interest in that particular project. All right, have a great day. Any questions, hit me up in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow with day 14. And the P, of course, P is the final letter in our SOAP framework. The P in our SOAP framework. Have an awesome day. Catch you tomorrow.